All right, question number 9, we have 9 parts. It says one of the biggest factors in determining the value of a home is square footage. The accompanying data represent the square footage and asking price in thousands of dollars for a random sample of homes for sale. We're going to complete parts A through H. So have a table, square footage, and the price. And then we want to know which variable is the explanatory variable. So the X is usually explain, XX, so the square footage is explaining why the price is what it is. So this is kind of reviewing some previous information. The square footage would be the explanatory variable. If we were to draw a scatter diagram, so we can do a couple things. We can copy this in Excel or StatCrunch. Let's just do Excel. I'm familiar with using that most. We will highlight the data. I'll copy it. We're going to go to data. Nope. Insert. Charts. And we're going to do this scatter diagram. And I think we can edit it, but let's just look. We start at 1,000. This is my X. 1,000 and going up to about, what's the 1,500? Looks like about the highest 15, 16. So it's an upward pattern. Got 3 different clusters of 3 dots. So I'm looking for something that looks similar to that, and it looks like A, could be B. Let's look at the difference in those. Sorry, A and C is what I'm looking at. A and C, they look really close. What is the difference? So these are clustered up around 170. These go a little bit below 170. So let's look at our data one more time. So all of our prices, we got some that are definitely below 170. And C suggests they're like right at 170 and above. Looking at my data, as far as the cost, we got 150, 159. We got some that are clearly below. So in my opinion, A looks like the best. All right, we're going to determine the correlation coefficient between square footage and asking price. So reviewing the information we did in 4. So I'm going to come here and do trend line, arrow, more options. All the way to the bottom, we're going to display equation and R. So I'm going to grab and move this. So remember, R is the correlation. This is R squared, so we got to find the square root of this value. So let me make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say this is equal to SQRT. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put 0.8563. 0.8563. And I'm going to close that and hit enter. So my R is 92. How do I know if this is positive or negative? Well, in the direction of my trend line. If it's positive, this number is positive. If it's negative, then I need to make sure I put this number as a negative. So right now, my trend line is positive, so I'm looking at rounding to 3 decimal places, a positive 0.925. Positive 0.925. All right, is there a linear relationship between square footage and asking price? Well, that depends on if my correlation coefficient is greater than the critical value. If I look and see how many data points we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm looking for a critical value for 9. So when I go down to 9, critical value is 0.6 repeating, so 0.666. My correlation is higher than that, okay? So we would say yes, there's evidence of a linear relationship. Find the least squares regression line. Okay, so we got Excel to plot that for us. Can I make this bigger? I don't know if I can drag it and make that bigger. It's really small, but you can see the slope is 0.0692. 0.0692 is positive, so it's not going to be this one. Looks like this one, 0.069, and ours rounds up to a 2, so that .87, we'll round that up, that looks good. And then .822, we got 546, and they got 55, so rounding up. So A looks like the best least squares regression line. We're going to interpret the slope. So looking at our data, X is the square footage. So what we're saying is when the square footage increases by 1, the price of the house is going to go up by about 0.0692, and I think this is in thousands of dollars. So roughly, this is on average, not exactly, but on average. So for each square foot added to the area, the expected price of the house will decrease. No. It is inappropriate. No. For each square foot added to the area, the expected asking price of the house should decrease. No. So for each square foot of added area, the expected asking price will increase by about 69. That is in thousands of dollars. So yes, D is going to be the one that matches what we're looking for. Is it reasonable to interpret the y-intercept? So y-intercept would be, if I were to trace this all the way back and see where this intersected, so that means y-intercept when x is 0, if I plug a 0 here, that means a house with no square footage, which means there's not really a house. You would pay about $82,000, which it doesn't make sense because you're not going to pay any money for no house. So no, it would not make sense to interpret a y-intercept in this scenario. One home that is 1,092 square feet is listed at $189,900. Is this price above or below a home for this size? So in our table, we don't have one that says 1092. We got a 1096. But they're saying that there is a house that's listed at 1092, and this is the price. So I'm going to use my calculator this time, and I'm going to put that equation in y equal. Well, I don't have to do it in y equal. I can just say the slope, which is going to be 0.0692, and then I'm going to put the square footage in there, and that's what x is, so the 1092. And then I'm going to add the 82.546. Okay. So this is giving me about 158 if I multiply this 1,000 times 1,000. Okay. So this is what the asking price is, 158,000 according to our model. So one home that's listed at this square footage and this price, is this home above or below average for a home? So this will be above average because what we're getting for the average is about 158, and they have it at 189. So this price is above average. And may there be some reasons for this price? Yes. So may there be some reasons for this price? Seems like a very vague question. But yes, house could be in a different neighborhood. You know, square footage is not the main thing that affects the price of a home. So the area, the upkeep, there's different things. So may there be some reasons? Very vague. Yes, there may be some reasons.